Hi, I'm Sandy Schroeck for LBR Educates, and today in our Design 101 series, we're going to be talking about focal point. Focal point is an area of dominance within the design that helps to control the eye and give it an anchor. And this is usually in the area that is right above the lip of the container and would contain a dominant material. So what we're going to do today in our design is start off with, we're creating a primary line with our curly willow here, and then a secondary line. So we're going to do a little bit of framing of this composition with that. You can see I'm designing in the Oasis Midnight Foam. That's the Max Life foam from Smithers Oasis, and using the Midnight. Just gonna use the wet foam to just smooth this out a little bit and just give it a little bit of a textural quality. So I've got a little bit of a raise through the sides to be able to get some of those different framing elements. But this way, by utilizing that, you're gonna see that I'm able to really hide those mechanics very fast. So with focal point being an area of dominance, you can see I've got a little bit of a smaller container here. And so if I would use these sunflowers and coming out toward you, they're gonna become a lot more dominant. Each flower not only has dominance that comes from the color of the flower, but also the head shape, size, and placement. So if you do more of a dominant placement that comes forward, or if you utilize it where it's more of a vertical placement and that you can kind of see through that design element, then it still has that focal area of dominance, but you're going to be able to feel the visual pathway through. So we're gonna come in here and make sure we get that good stem insertion, so you can see that that stem is gonna go down into the foam, down in the bottom inch of the container, just utilizing my fingers to walk that down, and you can see that that comes into an area of dominance. And then we're gonna utilize our second one. Then we can see that those two sunflowers are going to be talking to each other. And you can see that they kind of come up together into that area and feed one flower into the other. So that's also about focal. So you need to have that flow within the rhythm of the design. Adding other elements into this piece. Here, we're gonna come in and bring a few more components that are gonna bring your eye from one side to the other. So I've got that up in here. So I'm gonna stair step down and come over in here. I can hold it and see, come in and bring that down in. So turn it from to the side to make sure we're not falling over forwards or backwards. We can come in with a Fatsia leaf. That's going to be an anchor coming right down in. So re-emphasizing that area of focal dominance and coming down into that. And then I've got a couple Scabiosa, and I'm gonna bring these a little bit more forward to add some depth and dimension into this design. And I'm just coming right through that Fatsia leaf. And again, paying attention to that head placement. So rather than it coming out toward you, we have a little bit more like it's growing up to the sun. So I'm able to see the stems and feel that stair stepping of one element up into the next. So we've also got a couple pieces of yarrow that we're gonna bring in. And this has similar placement where it has that head that tips one into the other. And so we're gonna use those, the back end here. To help expand that color. So I have a little bit of this curly willow. It's moving a little bit. I'm actually going to use the stem from this Israli ruscus. This is one that you can utilize the stem to help be your structure. So you can see now that curly willow is no longer moving there. And it stays on the nice strong stem. I can cut it, just take a look in, cut, save those couple pieces for some corsage work, and then utilize the other parts of the stem to just do some simple basing. Very easy to put in, simple and fast. And then lastly, or not quite lastly, we're gonna come in with a little bit of lily grass that comes and feeds off here. So you see our main line feeding into the focal area, and then we've got the secondary line. So I am gonna add a little bit more motion to these, to that curly willow, and just extend that curved line coming down, bringing it down and adding that additional value with that lily grass. So it just kind of continues. So primary line, secondary line is still in here, and then this is an extension of that secondary line. Then just two more pieces of some of the burgundy Alstroemeria. And we're gonna bring one here and one coming out the back. And so you'll see with the placement, we've done twos in a number of places, and that's to give us repetition. And so when I do one here, I'm gonna do one here. Or like here, you use them in a grouping one to another, where they talk to each other and they're friends within the design. So it just comes in, and then lastly, I am going to just take some of the Viking palms that are repetitive of our sunflower look, and I'm just going to utilize them down in the back just for a little basing technique and to finish off the back. So of course you can see that this arrangement is predominantly one-sided, but I will finish off all sides of the design and just adding those little basing techniques that really pull it together. You can see the midnight foam. If I really look down in, I can see some of that, but it really is just like a shadow and just kind of disappears. So here you can see how you can utilize those focal points and the directional qualities of the heads to be working together to create a unified design. I'm Sandy Schroeck for LBR Educates, and I hope that you've been inspired by focal point and thinking about those directional quality of the heads. I hope I've inspired you to create some fabulous florals.